Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. There are 33 new cases of COVID-19 in Saskatchewan. 25 of those are in result of contact to known cases and gatherings. None of the new cases are in the region that includes Lloydminster and North Battleford. However, there are still 8 active cases in our zone, with a total of 271 considered active in the province. 8 people are in hospital, 2 of those in intensive care. 16 more people have recovered. The head of Lloydminster's Christian Immigrant Support Services has joined the race for City Council. Charles Belenga has lived in the border city for the past 5 years. He's been active in the community, hosting events to support inclusion during Black History Month and helping newcomers settle in Canada. He felt this time was the right time to put his name forward for public service.
I'm just really excited to be part of the building of the community. And so I thought for a while that, it's good to organize these different events, but it's also really important and an incredible opportunity just to be able to get right in and fully contribute to building this great community of ours.
Belenga believes in being fiscally responsible, but he wants to make sure the oil and gas industry is supported. He'd also like to see more housing built in Lloydminster to prepare the city for when the economy improves.
Let's think strategically about building housing, because I'm a strong believer that the boom will come back. And when it comes back, when we are not prepared with housing, we may lose workers who have no place to stay. They make money, but you can't just live in a hotel. So we need to be proactive about housing.
A third-generation Lloydminster resident is making another run for a seat on City Council. Bill King ran the last municipal election but came up short. He still feels like he has a lot to offer the community as a city councillor and will ask the tough questions.
I look at myself as being kind of a voice of reason on council. I ask a lot of questions, and I just don't take any answer.
King would like to see council focus on redeveloping aging city infrastructure and working to attract new businesses to Lloydminster while not raising taxing during a difficult time.
We can't keep taxing people, because I believe everybody is pretty much taxed out. So we've got to, keep a lid on that and really look at situations and, keep on the need side instead of the wants. There's always a want out there, but we have to bolster our economy more before we can afford some of those luxuries.
There are 18 other candidates vying for a seat on Lloydminster City Council. Today is International Credit Union Day, and both Lloydminster school divisions were the recipients of a generous donation. Connor Chan has more.
COVID-19 saw a different start to the school year, with many students and staff having to adjust to new normals. Synergy Credit Union announced as part of the Synergy Shares program, $100,000 will be donated to 30 schools across West Central Saskatchewan, with Lloydminster schools being part of that group.
We were in a committee meeting actually talking about some of the needs that are in the community right now, considering some applications for some funding through that, and one of the conversations went to what's a very timely issue around COVID-19 and the very different return to school that our students have had.
Both school divisions will receive up to $30,000 each to put towards focusing on physical and mental well-being of the staff and students. Both directors for the school divisions are grateful to work with a company that can create a positive impact in the community.
This is another example of the great partnerships that we have in the community with our business sector. Donations like this go a long ways to making a big difference in the experiences of our kids in our schools, and just couldn't be more thankful.
Well, this is a very significant increase in the partnerships that have gone on, that really began with the building of the vault. But the Synergy Cares program has supported scholarships and has supported other initiatives for student wellness in our schools.
And in a time where the needs of everyone's health is being made a priority, the donation couldn't have come at a better time.
What we're finding right now is that kids and staff are really craving connection and community, and a sense of what they maybe used to have prior to COVID-19, and I think this funding will help us to generate some activities that will give them new experiences that will help them feel good about themselves, help them feel good about their school communities.
Giving back to the community is part of the reasons why credit unions were developed in the first place. Today is International Credit Union Day, a day we celebrate some of those differences and our things that we like to do in our communities and around the world, actually.
Connor Chan, Primetime Local News.
Welcome back. The deadline to apply to become a delegate with the Alberta beef producers is rapidly approaching. Eric Bay has warned how this year will look different for elected delegates.
Farmers interested in representing their fellow beef producers have until midnight Thursday to submit their nomination. All of the ABP's meetings will be virtual next year, along with the election.
By mail-in ballot or through online voting this year, and those election voter packages will be mailed to all eligible producers, and it will include details on all the producer meetings that are coming up.
ABP is looking for producers willing to stick up for the beef industry, particularly in this difficult time. Potential candidates will need to provide some background information along with their application.
We are requesting that the producers fill out a request for information update form that can also be found on the producers' homepage. This year, they will take place entirely online in the format of a producer town hall meeting followed by separate resolution meetings.
Additional information can be found at the Alberta Beef Producers website.
If you are interested in becoming a delegate, the delegate nomination package can be found under latest news on the producer's homepage of www.albertabeef.org.
Delegates will be elected to 1- and 2-year terms to stagger future zone elections. The election will take place at the end of November. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
Now we'll take a look at your egg prices.
In last week's NHL draft, 4 players with ties to the AJHL were selected. In this group was former Canmore Eagle Alex Young. We talked with his coach from the past 3 seasons in this week's Around the AJHL. Alex Young was the 4th of the 4 players selected, going in the 7th round, 196th to San Jose. Throughout the year, Young did all he could to improve his draft stock.
I'm surprised he didn't get drafted last year. I mean, he's a guy that did everything he could to get himself on the list. And then I think this year, when you look at his season and you talk about what he did, and, starting in Russia, and, becoming player of the tournament there, and then all of a sudden he's player of the game in the prospects game, and everything he did for our hockey club. To me, it was, Alex did everything he could possibly do to put himself in a position to get drafted, and, he's fortunate to do that. So it's not a surprise or a shock to me at all. I think Alex's work ethic and determination and creativity is what allowed him to be in a position to get drafted. But he's been a pleasure to have on our hockey club for the last couple of years, because it's easy to coach a player like Alex. He's so coachable and wants to improve every day. So.
With Young moving on this season, the Canmore Eagles will have to look for more ways to score. In the 3 years Young was in Canmore, he led the team in points twice and was second in his rookie year.
Well, we've talked a lot about, we're not going to replace Alex and Connor. They're not guys you just replace. You just put the next guy in that position. I mean, they're special players and are extremely good at what they did and then how they helped us, be successful. But we think we got a really good group of returning forwards. We're not going to score with 1 or 2 specific individuals. We're going to have a group that can score and all the way down our lineup.
Coming in waves is something the Eagles will have to do further along in the year. Last season, the Eagles lost their first playoff series in 7 games to the Camrose Kodiaks.
The idea is the depth is that I think we're going to be a scoring by committee type group. And, I think it was easy for teams to isolate on 1 or 2 players in our hockey team. And that's been something that has happened in the past. And now this year, our anticipation is that we're going to have depth up front and we're going to be able to score with a number of guys. And I think this year we're probably a much deeper team than we have been in historical years. And we're not going to be having to rely on Alex and Connor as much as we have in the past.
Milne has been the head coach and general manager for the Eagles since the 2008-09 season. Ahead of the 2020 regular season, Milne's success starts with goaltending.
Goaltending is such a big part of the game, and I think this year with Devin Chapman being a pretty experienced veteran guy, having got some good opportunities last year to play, and then Andre Proctor-Amir is a guy that came in from fantastic years in midget AAA and just put up some phenomenal numbers. I think he's eager and excited to get going in the net, and I like the healthy competition we have in goal, and I think that's one thing that we're going to have to build off of and continue to try to make ourselves the best that we can through our goaltending.
Canmore is the only team in the AJHL who has not played an exhibition game yet. Taking another look now at your evening temperatures here. Still 2 degrees in the border city, 2 degrees also up in Cold Lake and in Athabasca, 5 in Red Deer and Edmonton, as well as in Edson, 3 in Whitecourt, 7 in Jasper, and 4 over in Rocky Mountain House. It was cold out west in those Jasper and Banff areas when the day started in the very low minuses, around -10 early in the day. 3 degrees in Saskatoon, 0 in Melfort, 1 degree in Prince Albert, 2 degrees in North Battleford, as well as in Meadow Lake. Taking a look now at the northern portions of the provinces, 6 degrees in Grand Prairie, 3 in Slave Lake, 5 in Peace River, -2 in Fort McMurray, as well as in High Level, and -3 over in Fort Chipewyan. Taking a look now at the Saskatchewan side, -3 in Flin Flon, South End, Wollaston Lake, Stony Rapids, and up in Uranium Cities. A lot of -3s on that map as well. -4 in La Ronge, Buffalo Narrows, and in La Loche. Now, if we take a look at the southern portions, this is where things get interesting. 6 degrees in Lethbridge, 7 in Medicine Hat, 4 in Calgary and in Banff, and 5 in Coronation. Everywhere south of Coronation could be in some trouble when it comes tomorrow. Rain will start to fall early in the day, but that could turn into snow as things get going. That's really for the whole southern portion of Alberta and BC there. Looking now at the southern portion of Saskatchewan, 5 degrees in Estevan, 2 degrees in Yorkton and Kindersley, as well as in Swift Current, 4 in Moose Jaw and in Regina. If we move along here now, taking a look at the national temperatures, 12 degrees in Vancouver. They could also be seeing some of that rain tomorrow, as I mentioned there. 4 degrees in Whitehorse, -3 in Yellowknife as we move more central now. 3 degrees in Winnipeg, 10 in Toronto, 12 in Quebec City. Parts of Quebec got as high as 24 degrees there, so they haven't really gotten the message that it is fall time yet. 12 degrees in Halifax, 14 in St. John's, and 2 degrees up in Iqaluit. If we take a look now at your overnight temperatures, those are starting to get low as we keep on going. The wind chill will make it feel even colder, a lot hovering around -9 there in Meadow Lake and in Paradise Hill as well. Snow could start falling as night rolls around. If you take a look tomorrow, more cold temperatures everywhere, hovering right around that 0 degree range. Now, if we take a look at your 7-day forecast, snow could be coming in tomorrow, leaving in the afternoon, but things are going to keep up with that cold as we see a couple -2s there on the weekend before starting the week off with a -1 and then a bunch of 0s. That's all we have for the weather for now. We'll be back with more news after the break.
Speaking with Vaughn Jennings with the Lloydminster Salvation Army today. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Now, Christmas is a couple months away. Can you tell us more about the Christmas Hamper program that the Lloydminster Salvation Army does?
Well, the Christmas Hamper program is a program that the Salvation Army has been doing for a long number of years. We basically do a hamper on a weekly basis for people. Not every week, but we supply hampers on a daily basis. to people in need. But at Christmas, we do a little bit extra. We basically supply them with the traditional Christmas dinner and also provide enough groceries that can do probably for a couple of weeks of groceries as well.
Now, what's all needed for the groceries that residents can help support with?
Well, the basic items are, is turkey, fresh vegetables, canned items. We like to put in a box of stuff and such. Some baking goods as well that people can make their desserts as well. So, and soups, beans, items like that, non-perishable items that we can give to the people so that they can have a nice Christmas, but also some groceries for to do a couple of weeks.
Now, how long has this program been around for?
Oh, I mean, I think it's been around for a good 130, 150 years, almost as long as what the Salvation Army has been around. Someone decided that, we need to do something at Christmas to help people have a good Christmas in some community, and it started from there with the Salvation Army, and it's a tradition that we have carried on ever since in every Salvation Army ministry unit.
And now this year, has COVID-19 affected lots of support with this program?
Yes. We have found that some of our food drives that have been annual events for organizations, they haven't done. They've done them in a different way, but the food drives have not been going ahead. There's still one going ahead. We're not quite sure how that will turn out because of COVID-19. It's happening probably a month later than normal. It took place in September every year previously, but it's taking place now on the 24th of October. And we're not quite sure what we will get or what amounts of food we will get from that. So it has certainly changed how we are preparing for Christmas because of the fact that a lot of these food drives supplied us with food not only for our regular ampers every week, but it also helped giving us a supply of items for Christmas. So this year we've had to do things differently, and we are purchasing a lot of our items so that we can make sure that we have the necessary amounts of food to give out to our Christmas hampers. And COVID-19 has changed a lot of things. Last year we prepared for 450 hampers. This year we have decided, okay, it's not looking great, so we're preparing for 900 hampers. So we have doubled our numbers. So that means everything has basically doubled because we're trying to keep the hamper the same size as before. So we're preparing for 900. Whether we will get 900, I don't know, but we're certainly going to be ready if that situation arises.
And what other ways can residents help support the Lloydminster Salvation Army at the time?
Well, I mean, if people want to make a donation of monetary items, it's greatly appreciated. They can come to our office here at our church on 23rd Avenue and give us a donation, monetary check, whatever. They can call the office. They can go online to salvationarmy.ca and make an online donation, specified to Lloydminster, of course. And also, if they want to donate food items, any non-perishable item is greatly appreciated.
Is there anything else you want to add for residents to know about in this time?
We just want to say a great big thank you because we have been well supported since COVID-19 has started, and that support has not changed over the months financially or with donation of items. So we just want to say a big thank you to the residents, the organizations, businesses here in Lloydminster who have continued to support us. And we know as well, it's been a very giving community in the past, and I don't think I have any doubts that they will continue to be giving in the days ahead.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me today, Bond.
thank you. Hopefully I've given you some good information, and anything that people can do to help us is greatly appreciated.
I'm joined here with Dawson Blawatsky, and he is with the Haunted Hike out of Vegreville. Now, this year, the Haunted Hike is open once again. For someone who doesn't know, how does it work?
So basically, we opened up a haunted house in our RV parts store on one section of it. And basically this year we're doing kind of time ticket sales just because of the whole COVID thing to kind of make sure not a lot of people come at once. So we're doing basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 6 till 10 or 6 till 11, sorry. And then on Friday and Saturday, 2 till 5, we have like a not so scary hour for kids where there's no actors or whatever. Some kids still find it scary, some have fun, so I'm not sure. But yeah, so I don't know, you book tickets kind of for what time you want to come at, and then you basically come through and get scared, hopefully. But
yeah, and how has COVID has it had a big effect on how you guys can operate?
You know what, we're doing our best. We're doing all the AHS stuff or whatever, so I think we've been doing a pretty good job keeping people like small groups at a time coming and just limiting the amount of people inside the shop and spacing out the lineups and stuff like that. The hand sanitizing and everything. Vegreville is not required to wear masks, so masks aren't a requirement here, but if people want to wear them, by all means.
Besides COVID, how has the hike changed from last year? Is there any new rooms at all?
We added new rooms, like we added probably 4 new rooms. A lot of people said it was way better than last year, but it's still the same but different. So I mean, at least people have thought enough that it's changed to say it's better than last year. So, but everyone that came out or came through that I've talked to said they really had fun. We've had a couple reviews on it too, and they said they enjoyed it. So.
And without giving too much away, I guess what can people expect this year if they come by?
I don't know, like there's just a lot of, we got like 12 or 15 actors at a time half the time, so there's a lot of people showing up and are popping out and things. I don't know, a lot of jump scares, I'd say, but so far it's been good. So far the reviews have been good too, so people have been enjoying it for sure.
And you mentioned that people can get tickets online, so where should they go?
So it's thehauntedhike.ca, and then you just kind of follow the lead on that website and you can pick your time slot and book it on there.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Not a problem.
Taking a final look at your weather for this hour, it will be 0 tomorrow with a low of -6 before a nice cold spurt there. -3 on both Saturday and Sunday before -1 on Monday. 1 degree on Tuesday, -1 on Wednesday, and -2 as well on Thursday, with those lows all hovering right around -10 as well. Tomorrow, there is a chance we could see some snow first thing in the morning that could possibly last until the early afternoon.
Thanks for joining us on Primetime Local News. Have a great night.